Greetings, everyone. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, is this going to be that Thor video that I'm doing? No, this is not the Lesser Known But Awesome Heroes Asgard edition. This video is going to actually come before it. And I may try to post this Sunday night if possible. If not, then it'll be on Monday morning. And I may have to alter my plans to the Lesser Known But Awesome Heroes Asgard edition, because this is something that my good buddy Ian, aka F.W. Waller, actually had suggested. And quite frankly, this is something that I feel that I have to address as well, because it's becoming more and more prevalent, I feel, among the comic book community, especially with Superman and Batman getting movies, Green Lantern getting a movie, but yet we've only seen one movie, dozens of cartoons, and even a TV show, and then we're getting a really supposedly bad, TV show type deal. This goes along with his Wonder Woman TV show Rant. Yes, I'm talking about the Amazonian princess, who's been in a TV show, a cartoon, comics, and I don't know, I just felt, and apparently it's put up in pinup art and stuff. Now this I don't understand, and I think the straw that kind of broke the camel's back is that I've read a couple of comments from really casual comic book fans here on YouTube, and also just people in general. And I believe that Captain Logan, his review of the 2009 Wonder Woman animated movie, he explained it perfectly, which is, you can name off a Superman villain and a Batman villain, but everybody knows who Wonder Woman is, but they cannot name one villain out of her rogues gallery. And really, on top of that as well, this troll, quote unquote, had the audacity to say that, well, oh, Wonder Woman's a bland character, she's not relatable, and her rogues gallery, quite frankly, sucks. When I look at Wonder Woman, I'm going to tell you, I like Wonder Woman, and I don't like her because, she's hot, or, any of those reasons. I like her because she's a superhero. She has basically been quoted in the comics as being just a little bit stronger than Superman. I mean, let's break down Wonder Woman herself. Okay, she's the princess of an island of female warriors. She lives on an island called Themyscira. Basically, her entire race of people, the Amazons, they have been raped and pillaged by Ares and his minions, other devotees, so you can't really blame Hippolyta for being very bitter towards the world of man. And I think that was one of the great aspects of Diana that was shown in the animated movie, was that she yearns to see the outside world, and that no matter what her mother says, she doesn't like man, but she also is rather intrigued by man as well. And I think the archetype with her and Steve Trevor's, I think, has always been very interesting in the comics for me. But I think what's even more interesting is pretty much her rogues gallery, and I'm going to get some pictures up of some of her villains and basically try to... I'm not going to do a Super Villains Explored. Don't get confused on that. I'm going to let F.W. Waller handle all of that, but I think Ian's going to do the Super Villains Explored for all of these. But I'm just going to mention these characters and explain why her rogues gallery is actually just as good as Superman's and Batman's. They may not be the most memorable characters, mind you, but they're pretty interesting for who they are, and I feel that they're great adversaries for Wonder Woman. But I'm getting off topic. Now, I think one of the many great things about Wonder Woman in general, okay, she was made from the wet sand and clay of the island of Themyscira. She's not even a flesh and blood person. She was basically created by the gods. She's got the beauty of Aphrodite, the wisdom of Athena. She has a fighting prowess that I guess you could say is equal to or even greater than Ares. She's... what was it now? She has many other traits. Oh yes, the Earth Spirit Gaia, or the Earth Titan Gaia, basically blessed her with the strength to be as strong as the stone of the earth. Meaning that basically she is as strong as the ground that she walks on. Now many of you are going to be very confused about that. Have no fear. If you actually do research, which some of you people don't, you just rather, be like, oh, watch this video, and then you're like, well, that's stupid. I implore those of you who are casual fans that actually want to learn, by all means do the research, because some of this stuff is actually hard for even, Ian to explain. And Ian's a guy who tries to memorize a lot of his supervillains and stuff that he talks about in his videos. And even for me, doing lesser known but awesome heroes, it's very time consuming. But at the same time, it's more the trying to retain all the knowledge that's difficult for both me and for him. But that's just a little trade secret for you guys. It's very hard for us to both maintain knowledge on the characters that we talk about. I try to go more from memory, but sometimes I do a little bit of research. I don't go completely unprepared. But I'm getting off task. I'm rambling on. Now, what makes Wonder Woman absolutely great as well, excuse me, it's like Ian said, she should be portrayed more as a motherly type figure, someone that people should come to for advice. That's the Wonder Woman that I remember, someone who is peaceful, kind, compassionate, and only resorts to violence or even murdering someone if it is absolutely necessary, if it's like, the one last resort, if everything else, has failed. But Wonder Woman has always been portrayed as, hating men and, murdering everyone at the drop of a hat. No. That should be Wonder Woman's last resort, not her first resort. And okay, she's got a tiara that she can wing like a boomerang. She has bracelets that are magically enchanted to deflect bullets and laser blasts and even Superman's heat vision. And on top of that, she's got a golden lasso that when wrapped around you, you are forced to tell the truth no matter what. And it's strong enough that it's nearly unbreakable. Like, for example, a rhino, or like one of Cersei, Wonder Woman's supervillains, one of her bestiomorphs tries to, basically like cut her lasso in half with like a giant battle axe, and her lasso actually didn't snap. It didn't cut in half. It actually deflected the axe, which means that the tensile strength of her golden lasso is really, really strong. And also on top of that, all her weapons were crafted by, Hephaestus. And it's just, the one thing that I will agree with people on is that, they do need to kind of change Wonder Woman's outfit, but I disagree with changing completely how she looks. I say you should give her Daisy Dukes instead of the bikini bottom. Compromise with giving her, like Daisy Dukes that cut up to, like, say, right where my knee is here, or like right where my leg is here. That could actually work. Now, I got cut off in the other video, but to wrap this up, not only that, but Wonder Woman knows how to use a sword and a shield, two-handed sword, battle axe, bow and arrow, etc. All the Amazons are trained to use these weapons, including like stick fighting and stuff, like staff fighting. So Wonder Woman is a very brilliant tactician as well. And she's an inspiration not just in the land of man, but she is also an inspiration to the people of Themyscira. Now, I'm going to go through her rogues gallery of supervillains here. And I'm going to name off basically some of the villains that she faces off against. And some of these, I'm sure a lot of you may end up requesting, for Ian to talk about these characters afterwards. So I'm going to put them on here. Now, I'm going to start with the Greek god of war. Yes, Ares is an actual villain that Wonder Woman faces. Dr. Psycho, a midget who is very sexist towards women and has almost, like, I guess you can say, illusionary mind control type powers. Cheetah, a woman who is basically the avatar of a cheetah god, has all the abilities of a cheetah. Giganta, a 40 to 50 foot tall woman. And I shall click off Giganta here. And then we have the demigoddess Circe. And those are just the really popular Wonder Woman villains. If you actually do a little bit more research, you'll find some really obscure ones. But that is pretty much it for my, I guess you can call it, rant on Wonder Woman. Hopefully some of you found this informative, and hopefully some of you who say that Wonder Woman is very bland and uninteresting, hopefully you'll take some of this with a grain of salt. And that's pretty much it. On to the, Asgard edition video. Hope you enjoy.